united and indivisible. It's by the convergence of its Arab, Islamic and Sahrawi components which has drawn on African and Indo-European and Jewish antecedents. Thank you. Thank you, Mr. Yatim. Next speaker is Samvel Farmanyan from Armenia.
Thank you very much, dear colleagues. I would like, first of all, to thank the both rapporteurs for the excellent text presented to our discussion today, both in terms of political consideration and also from academic point of view. So, colleagues, education and culture are powerful tools to prevent radicalization and empower civil society to build democratic citizenship. At the same time, education and culture are a powerful source of intellectual renewal and growth, which enable us to acquire knowledge, a critical mind, and a broader understanding of the world around us to be seen from different perspectives. I have a concern, and both reports come to double this concern, that we lack an adequate understanding of the impact of education and culture on societal changes. Educational policies are generally focused on providing professional skills and knowledge targeted at economic needs, while personal development is a very important tool for societal well-being, which has been neglected over the last decades in Europe. Economic-driven political discourse, educational and cultural policies should be reviewed to meet the increasing complexity of modern challenges. Regrettably, culture and education have been among the first sectors where many European governments made cuts of public funding very recently. Investment in education and culture, as a colleague British of mine mentioned correctly, must be given priority like we do in terms of economy, security and all other areas which are to be seen crucial for Europe. However, the situation is differing in many European countries, and the efforts of the rapporteurs to make some generalization are to some extent relative. And the rapporteurs mention about the dangers of indoctrination of education and culture in certain circumstances, and that's the case we had in our history of Soviet Union and Nazi Germany, when indoctrination of culture and education served political agendas and political goals of particular governments. That's the case we have today in Azerbaijan, and just if you pay attention to what Rafa Husseinov, a colleague of ours, just said about accusations towards Armenians having claims to master Azerbaijani so-called cultural heritage, is just a proof of that fact, that indoctrination of culture is serving political agendas. So, on the other case, the report deals with diaspora communities, and again, integration of diaspora communities and migrants represent a big challenge for Europe today, and education and culture are systematic frames to ensure integration of all those groups with differing identities. And diaspora organizations, of course, should get public funds from the states, and Sweden comes here to stay as a model country how different diaspora organizations are getting public funds. But on the other hand, of course, these diaspora organizations and the minorities should respect the social cohesion and the living together concept in those countries they live. What happened, unfortunately, on April 9th this year in Stockholm at one of the squares, where the leader of Turkish community organization, made a slogan calling death to Armenians, which finally brought to the resignation of one of the ministers for urban development in Sweden, and is a really dangerous attempt to radicalize and to use for political influence diaspora organizations residing outside of their countries of origin. Thank you so much.
Merci beaucoup, Monsieur Farmanyan.
Thank you very much, Mr. Farmanyan. Our next speaker is Mr. Andrei Neguta of the Republic of Moldova.
Merci, Madame la Présidente.
Thank you.